What up, people? Welcome to another episode of Social Moments. So Machala, the biggest song in late July in Nigeria and one of the biggest songs late July, early August in the entirety of Africa, has had some issues surrounding it. A few months after it dropped and became such a sensation from a comedian who ventured into music, with his first single debut mounting the top of the charts and becoming the number one and taking the number one spot on iTunes in Nigeria. But it appears there's trouble in paradise when it comes to the revenue from the music and how much is supposed to go to the people who did the song, aka Kata Ife and berri-tiga. So for some few days now, there seemed to be trouble in paradise, some miscommunication on how they were going to share the revenue from the music, something they should have dealt with before they even released the music, but they seem to not have done. According to a video from berri-tiga, the original idea from the revenue share was going to be 60% to Kata Ife and 40% to him, which he himself even chose to take 30 and let 70 go to Kata Ife, but later was called that they were going to pay him off with 100k naira once and for all. So no royalties, no revenue coming from the music will ever go to him, just like that.
I never wanted to talk about this issue, but now that Kata has gone to his story, posting things about me, that I'm not grateful on this, I just have to talk. We did a song, I sang the song from the beginning to the end. You dropped this song, you're not tagging me on your page, shows you're not carrying me along. You offered me a 95%, you taking 95%, me taking 5% of a song that I sang from the beginning to the end. At first, you sent a deal that I don't have the right to perform this song. I told you, so it was a mistake. We argued. We concluded on 70-30. Because when we were doing this song, my management called me the day that we posted the video on TikTok. He called me and I was like, what's the argument between you and Kata? I said, no argument. They said we should do a 40 and 60. I take 40, Kata takes 60. I was like, no, let Kata take 70, let me take 30. Since Kata is promoting the song, I got a call from Sydney Tucker and Kata the next day. They were like, oh, they're going to pay me off the song with 100,000 naira. A song I sang from the beginning to the end, telling me you want to pay me off the song with 100,000 naira. Is it possible? When I did the live video, I was on live. Somebody asked me, oh, Shina, you produce Machala? I was like, I wrote and I sang Machala 100%. Why would you be asking me if I produced Machala? Blogs took the post up and was like, oh, berri-tiga claiming ownership of Machala with Kata Wahala, like bicycle. This thing was going viral. I texted you that, oh, bro, you know, see me, you know the drag song. Hope you are not pissed. Was like, okay, yeah, we got that day. Machala was causing issues online. I left Machala and I started promoting my next song. Kata knew about that song. That was the song I wanted to drop. It's not even a song about him or anything. He has that song. I've played the first day we met. I played that song for Kata. I started promoting my song. Now you're coming out and saying, I'm ungrateful. Well, I rest my case. God did.
It's sad because, when you listen to the song, Kata Ife pretty much did nothing on it. But at the end of the day, he owns the song. When you go to iTunes, the song is not on berri-tiga's page. It's not. It's on Kata Ife's account. Some people are making arguments, say, he was the one who sang the song from A to Z, so he owns the song. But unfortunately for him, that's not how it works. Depending on whatever contract he signed or did not sign, which it looks more like the latter. It seems this was one of the cases of, my helper has found me, I'm doing you a favor sort of vibe. He didn't make any proper signing or anything. Because, let's use somebody like DJ Khaled, for example. Most songs he owns, he just dropped an album, God did. If you're applying that logic, then DJ Khaled doesn't own the songs on the album, doesn't own any song he's ever done. Because, when you listen to a DJ Khaled song, what do you hear from him? Pretty much nothing except from another one and him screaming his name somewhere in the song. But at the end of the day, it is his. He hires these musicians, these top A-lister musicians, he hires them and he gives them their cut. It's the same thing with this Kata Ife thing. Yes, berri-tiga was the one who sang the song from A to Z, but the song isn't his. And it's a classic example from upcoming musicians, a mistake most of them make because they have this mentality of this person is helping me. But the truth of the matter is that it's not like that. You are both helping each other. If helping you would be maybe if somebody like you were on the street and they come and they dash you money, that would just be helping you. This is a service you are providing that you both can mutually make something out of. You are bringing your voice, they are bringing the resources. Obviously, the song probably wouldn't have gotten as far as it got if it wasn't for Kata Ife's influence, because he has more following than berri-tiga. It's his comedic style of making skits, even the promotion of the song and everything that made people aware, brought more eyes on it, and got it on the top of the iTunes charts. Kata Ife made a tweet saying, "Mashallah, so much hit in the air. All I gave was love, #Machala." And the chat is between him and berri-tiga in the early days before the song was even made. And the chat between them says, "Thanks for having me on this one, broski. I really appreciate for life." Which Kata Ife says, you good." And berri-tiga drops some emojis, teary emojis, "My boss, God bless you." Basically, it's giving off the vibe of this, helper situation and my helper situation. This person is helping me. And while that might seem like a good thing initially for an upcoming musician and an underground musician who has no help or no way of blowing, and somebody big coming to them, somebody relatively bigger than them coming to them and giving them an opportunity, I can see how that is like the biggest thing that can be happening to you at the moment. But the problem is they do not see through to it to the future. At that moment, they are just feeling like, they are being helped, and they gotta grab this opportunity, and that's it. Then Daniel Rega commented on that. One very loud guy on Twitter says, "If the above screenshot doesn't prove you are the owner of Machala, there's no date and the conversation was cropped. That's suspicious. From the look of things, berri-tiga owns the song, but you gave it publicity by hopping on it. This shouldn't be an issue. Give Berry his due credit." That's the problem. He does not own it. He sang most of the song, alright? It's just the same thing with DJ Khaled. You can listen to his songs, he owns the song. It's his name featuring other musicians, not other musicians featuring him. I mean, he released an album, and you listen to the songs on the album, and all the singing, all the rapping is being done by other musicians, but he owns the song. I really hope a lot of upcoming musicians are really paying attention to this thing, so to know how to place themselves when they get into a position like this. I read somewhere saying about capitalism doesn't give you what you deserve, it gives you what you can negotiate. And that's the simple truth. You can be worth so much, but if you don't know how to negotiate yourself, if you don't know how to put yourself in a position that's gonna make you be seen as worthy to receive whatever amount of money, then and you just sit back and see that people are just doing you a favor and they are just helping you. At the end of the day, this is the situations that are gonna arise from it. And this is not like the first of a kind. Let's, for example, interesting enough, only a few days ago, Diana Samoa, or the decades this woman has suffered in this music industry to get to where she is right now. And just a few days ago, her YouTube channel, she don't own it anymore. Her social media handles, she does not own it anymore. Her songs, she can't perform them because she cut ties with her former management / label. It was the same thing with Miss V and Lynx Entertainment. There's this, I've forgotten her name, a huge musician in the 90s and early 2000s, a woman in America. I've forgotten her name, but pretty much the same thing happens to them. I think the only person who was able to beat the system, beat this record label, beat their helpers was Chameleonaire. If you want to look more up on that, just put his name in a YouTube search tab or something, or Google, and you will learn how much this guy revealed and how much these industry players, how much these labels steal from the musicians they claim to be helping or have signed. On the flip side, other people think this whole thing might actually be staged because Machala got taken off iTunes for whatever reason. Before I did this video, I checked iTunes top 100, even though it has been re-uploaded back on there. Before I made this video, I checked the iTunes top 100 Nigeria. It wasn't anywhere in the list of top 100 songs in Nigeria. Some people are arguing that this is a strategy to get more streams for the songs because the momentum has died down from when it initially released and topped the charts. And honestly, I'm not doubting it, because interesting enough, only a few days ago, berri-tiga also released a song that is pretty much aimed at the whole situation that they are discussing right now. Talking about how, somebody has backstabbed him by the squad and whatnot.
Many things don't stop. With my mouth, no stop. To my self, but I don't drop. Niggas backstabbing, calling me stop. Don't go they play me like a big toy. They know they do anything they talk. So no go blame me, no be my fault.
So they've got us talking. The song is back in the trends. Their names are back in the trends. berri-tiga seems to have dropped another song. So, it's very plausible that this is all some sham for them to get more streams. I mean, musicians have done worse for publicity. This wouldn't be the first time that people are trying to chase clouds for, their song or their album momentum that has died down, trying to bring it back up. This wouldn't be the first, this wouldn't be the last. So I won't be surprised if this is a strategy to bring it back. But at the end of the day, whatever it is, whether this is true or not, this is a very important learning curve for upcoming musicians, or pretty much anybody who wants to work in showbiz, or pretty much any place in life, any career really. Like, you go to job interviews, right? You get asked, what your expectations are, what kind of salary you are expecting to receive here. People don't want to seem like they are over bloating themselves or overestimating themselves. So sometimes they even actually mention a figure that is way, way below what they actually deserve. It's the same thing. If you are an upcoming musician, whatever, stop seeing somebody coming to invest in your craft. They are not doing you a charity. They are helping you to make money for them and you. Basically, that's what it is. Somebody helping you, again, will be you, hanging on the street with a bowl in your hand, asking for spare change, and people will drop some coins in it without asking for anything in return. That will be them helping you. This is a business. You are providing a service, and they are investing in that service to also make a profit. And I know it's sitting here, it's easier said than done, because when you have been grinding non-stop, releasing songs, trying to blow up, and no help is coming your way, and somebody out of nowhere comes to you and makes you an offer, it seems like, the greatest thing in the world. And you just want to grab it and run with it. But unless you are planning to, drop one song or be a one-hit wonder or something, and you are trying to stay in the industry for the long haul, have you think about a year from now, 5 years, 10 years, when you want out of that contract, basically you'll be working your ass off, making money for labels, corporation, people, and you'll be making a tiny fraction of it. And at the end of the day, the example of Diana Sambwa, the example of Miss V, and all of those people that came before, Kaki, and all of those people, at the end of the day, when you are leaving that label safe, all the songs you made, your social media handles, everything you built from the ground, all of a sudden you get to take none of it with you. Is the label owns it. The label owns it now, and you have to start afresh and compete with pretty much underground musicians. You have to start everything from scratch. So basically, educate yourself, before you get into any deals like this. Educate yourself, and I hope Carter and Berry, come to a common ground. Catch you later. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe.